come back. I want to finish the story about Bill Wells and that big old wave that engulfed him. Big old heavy wall of hissing gray chaos just came out. He jumped on it, took a right, assumed his backside stance, disappeared under this wall of freezing foam. We hung around for a while and he never showed up. His board washed ashore, the fin was busted off of it, and we went down and got it. And don't know what happened to Bill. We thought he was dead. And so did you. Anyway, we took the board home. I fixed it. 2 months later, we went back down to the cove just to kind of look at it. Then we decided that we would go down to the cliffs and take his board down there and bury it. So we took his board down there, walked down the cliffs, had pallets. We built a huge fire. The thing was probably 8 feet in the air. The flames were shooting up. I had his board down there laying on the beach, and these bikers come walking down the cliffs. There's probably about 10 of them, and they make a left turn, and they approach us, and this one guy has a knife, and he goes, you know what? He's playing with his knife. He says, we want the fire, and we want that surfboard. I go, well, you can have the fire, but the board, you're going to have to fight us for that, and that's going to be bad. And he said, well, okay, we'll take the fire. So, yeah, you can have it. So we walked away from the fire. Rick took his foot and he pushed this unopened can of beans into the fire. We went up the cliffs and stood next to their bikes there. And all of a sudden I look off to my left and here's this army ambulance comes up. That's Bill Wells. He gets out. He's got a crutch. And he said that the waves had washed him past the point, and he was able to crawl up this cliff and get out. And then he ended up going to the draft board, the induction center, yeah, and they rejected him, of course, because his leg was short. So he didn't have to go to the war, and I did, by the way. So while this fire was burning, all the bikers were gathering around, and that can of beans exploded. And it up in the air maybe 20 feet, and hot beans going everywhere. The bikers were just screaming and jumping into the water and rolling on the sand. And Bill looks at me and he raises his foot up and he pushes the bikes over, and they fell like dominoes. So he gives me a thumbs up and left. Never saw him again. I went into the Army, came back out, and never saw him again. I went to his mother's place, and she wasn't there. She had died 2 years later. And his dad said that he went up to the Sierras. He just left his van and hitchhiked up to Bishop, and he called him from Bishop. He called his dad from Bishop, and that's the last he heard from him. He said he was going to go hiking around up in the mountains. So it's been all this time and I've never heard from him. But that's the story of Bill Wells and his Army ambulance stuffed with a dirty old mattress and a serape and dirty beach towel of various stains. If you looked close, you could probably identify him. He always carried the surfboard in there. I'm going to ramble on, but I'm going to stop it. So go ahead and check in a week and a half or so. I'll have another story. Thanks for coming by.